The hardest part about getting older that no one tells you is you don't have as much time left as when you were younger. And it really starts to hit you when you were younger. You could spend an entire day just wasting an entire day. And you knew you always had a lot more time ahead of you. But getting older, that feeling slowly fades away to where now when you waste a day, it feels like you truly are wasting a lot of your life that you're just not going to get back. And something that I'm sure a lot of us thought about when we were younger is that life would just be easy and it would sort itself out. But looking back at it, how far did that get you? Honestly, not very far. We have lots of debt, car payments, we rent. Um, And I want to tell you guys that that doesn't have to be the way. You guys don't have to do that. That was me a few years ago, and I've finally broken through it. And I just wanted to tell you guys my experience and how I was able to break out of debt, how I was actually able to start saving money. I just closed on my second house. And to start off, the biggest thing I need to tell you guys, a car payment isn't a flex. It's just a sign that you're always going to be poor. Wasting between $500 to $1,000 a month is crazy, especially when at the end of that month you have no money, you have more credit card debt than you started the month with, and you're just getting further and further behind. A lot of you guys truly say YOLO and then just screw tomorrow, enjoy today. But if you guys were to save that little bit, I mean, all you guys say, who cares about $5,000 to $10,000 in a year? But that could be your foundation to a better life. And I'll get to that a little bit later. But to start off with, I just wanted to say, you guys, your 20s are almost over, or for some of you guys, they already are over. And right now sucks, but you can make a plan to make the next decade better. When you watch the videos of like super rich guys on the street, someone walks up to them and asks them how did they make their money. They're always in their 30s, their 40s, their 50s. You almost never see 20-year-old kids. And the thing I want you guys to take away from this is the thing that all of those guys have in common is they'll tell you about when they were younger, they put together a plan of how they were going to change their life, an actionable plan that they took steps and made each step along the way. And that's what I really want you guys to get out of this is if you guys just hope that things change without actually doing anything to change your life is never going to change. It's going to keep moving in the same direction it's moving now. So what I want you guys to do is put together an actionable plan that focuses on baby steps in order to change your life and see where that gets you. Some people get extremely lucky and they don't have to do anything and they luck into a good life. But I can guarantee you guys, you're not going to luck into something. Um, Honestly, the thing that I've noticed out of life is the more you plan and the more things you do to prepare for your future, the more I realize that luck is actually pretty common. It's just you're in such a mindset of expecting a huge, huge lucky thing to happen to you that you don't recognize all the small luck that happens along the way, and that really compounds into a better life. So what can you actually do? I want you guys to put together a plan to start building a foundation for yourself, to be ready for that luck, to be ready for opportunity. Start saving small amounts, try to get rid of pointless debts. Try to get rid of the car payment. Even if you have to spend a couple $1,000s because you're upside down on the car, get rid of the car payment and start putting that extra money to build a foundation. Your first goal is to save $1,000. Your second goal, a couple thousand. Your third goal, $5,000, all the way up to $10,000. When you build that foundation and you really try to put it to work, open a high yield savings account. You can get 4%. Nothing crazy, but you'll start seeing that money grow more money. And it's not a lot of money, but just the mindset that changes when you have a couple $1,000s and you can see that that money is working for you, building $5, $10, $15 a month. That might not sound like a lot of money, but just the mindset shift that happens when you realize that trading time for money isn't the only option. You can trade money's time for more money. And just the shift that happens in your head is ridiculous. So build your foundation. Be ready for opportunity. Instead of trading your time for money, trade money's time for money. So the next step from here I want you to do is I want you to build your network. Build a group of people that have the same goals as you. It's very unlikely that any of your friends that you are currently friends with are going to change their goals and they're going to try to come along this ride with you. More than likely what's going to happen is you need to find people who already have the same plans that you have. They want to build something. They want to become rich. They want to build a good life for themselves. And no amount of convincing is going to convince other people who just aren't ready for that yet to come with you. You're going to have to network and find people. And don't expect to find a mentor day one. Try to join Discord groups with people with the same goals as you. Don't just immediately try to sell them on something that you're doing. And so one of the things I want you to do is once you start building a network of people, once you have some money saved, once you're saving money from your job, and what I want you to do now is, now that you actually have money saved, you're doing good, you're saving a little bit of money each month, you're trying to network, you're trying to meet people who have the same goals as you. What I want you to do is sit down and over the course of a couple days, really think about something you can build. And what I mean by that is try to find a business that interests you, that you can start trying to build without spending a lot of money. So I'm just going to use a crude example here. It can literally be anything. Let's say you want to start a pressure washing business. Find something that you're not going to spend a lot of money on. So you buy a pressure washer, $500, $1,000, something like that. And something you're going to quickly learn is just because you have the tools for a job doesn't mean your phone's going to start ringing with customers in order to buy that from you. And so what I want you to focus on learning now is marketing and learning the concept that you have to put your business in front of people in order for people to call your business. And it's just one of those future steps that when you get to, it's gonna cause you to take a step back and realize that you really didn't understand how business works, and you really don't understand what it takes in order to make that next step from saving money and letting that money compound a little bit to learning how to really build a business and really building a lot of wealth. And so that's just one of the things I want you to think about. It's not necessarily for today. It's just something I want you to think about in the future, something to prepare for. And as you start building up more money, there's two concepts that I want you to learn. The difference between gambling and investing, and the difference between good debt and bad debt. And so with learning the difference between gambling and investing, I want you to learn the concept that an investment that you have control over is investing. An investment that you have zero control over is gambling. So let's just pick a couple different examples and let's just guess what category they go into. So first one, scratch off tickets, obviously gambling. Poker, obviously gambling. Blackjack, obviously gambling. Now let's go to, what about investing in stocks? Most of the time that's gambling. If you have zero control over what the business does, if you have zero control over what happens in the news, if you have zero control over the direction that money goes, that's gambling. Even if you buy an index fund, SPY, something like that, something that's probably going to make money over the long run, that's still gambling. There's no guarantee that that is going to have any type of return. So let's take another step further. What about the business that we were talking about a little while ago? You investing money in a pressure washer, you investing money in marketing. That's investing. You have direct control over what happens with that business. You have direct control over how many hours you put into marketing. You have direct control over how many doors you knock on. That's the difference between gambling and investing. What about buying a share in someone else's business? Let's say your friend wants to start a food truck. Is that gambling or investing? Well, do you have a say over what happens in the business? That determines whether it's gambling or investing. The other thing I wanted to talk about was learning the difference between good debt and bad debt. So straight off the bat, credit card debt, bad debt. What about a car payment? Well, it really depends. Is that car payment so two things. One, is that car payment making you more money? So is it a work vehicle that you are then using to deliver packages? Well, if you're delivering packages with it, that could be a good debt. What about if it's a $50,000 car that you just drive back and forth to work? Well, that's a very bad debt. What about if you're not trading your time for it, you're trading your money's time to make the money for the payment? So let's think about this. Let's say you have $100,000 and that money gets you $1,000 a month in interest returns, and that $1,000 a month goes towards that car payment. Well, that could be considered a good debt if you're not trading your time to pay for the debt, you're trading your money's time to pay for the debt. Now, I'm not saying you only have $100,000. That's just the example of money you have set aside that specifically makes your car payment. So that's just something I wanted you guys to think about. Just remember to focus everything on making your money trade its time for more money for you, not trading hours for time. And so I just want to tell you guys, if you guys like this video, please like it. Please let me know in the comments something that you're going to focus on changing. And remember, guys, keep hustling. And the biggest motivational thing I have to tell you guys is remember, you are not going to buy a Park Place on the first spin. This takes a lot of dedication. This takes a lot of time. You're going to try and focus on these steps, and I can guarantee you, you're going to mess up several times over and over and over again. And the only way that you can really do better is by focusing on the consistency. You're not going to get it right on the first time. Just focus on consistency, and that's really how you change this. This is really just changing a habit that you have, bad habits into good habits, car payments into savings, video games into focusing on a business, and that's just really what I want to tell you guys. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please let me know down in the comments, and if you guys want more videos like this, make sure to subscribe. Let me know that you want more videos. All right, peace, guys.